She's saying no, but
she's mad, but she still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Zhang Weili is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
Oh, post pay-per-view shows. How the hell is it going? Welcome everyone to a new episode of Axe Cake Picks, episode 101. Today is May the 6th, 2024. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock. Joey, it's a scorcher up here. How's it going down there in the beautiful state of South Carolina?
It's good. Fucking thunderstorms, bro. Yeah, we're like 101, like with picks for you, like, you know, like English 101, like science 101. We're like picks 101 with us. But honestly, coming off one of the worst weekends of my life, but not betting wise. So, you know, just was a rough one.
Yeah, hopefully we could turn that around. Hopefully get some picks in and make everybody some money. But Joe, the story Inoue got his groove back, you know. I think he channeled his inner Max Holloway. He got knocked down, first time getting knocked down in his career, winds up getting the knockout later in the fight. I think the 6th round, he gets the knockout. Insane. He's a freaking beast. Unbelievable showing after that scary first round. He does it again. You know, for my money, there's no one more exciting in boxing than Inoue. He always delivers, and I had to put him as my number one pound-for-pound boxing above Bud Crawford right now. Did you watch it, and your thoughts on his impressive knockout?
No, the dude is legit as they come, bro. I think he deserves the number one spot, you know. Bud's fighting, like, in a sense, higher level competition. So there's an argument to be made there. But I see no qualms with putting Inoue at number one because how he's getting the job done. Yeah, the guys he's fighting, like Luis Nery lost to a couple, like, you know, lower graded guys, but, you know, he's still a beast. And, you know, he's not even letting guys get into the later rounds. He's just putting them on them body shots, headshots. And I had Naoya Inoue with a VO KO TKO for 10 seconds left. So it would have hit. 10 seconds left all the way back, and you know, he just put the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake.
Oh, 100%. I mean, 10 seconds of lack. He has freakish power. I mean, how high can he go? I mean, 135, 140 seems too big, but imagine the fights up there for him. I mean, I know they talked about it on the broadcast after the fight. I doubt it happens, but Inoue versus Tank Davis at Dodger Stadium would be one of the coolest scenes in American boxing history. What do you see moving forward for Inoue?
That's a big jump, and like Gervonta Davis is big, you know, but I see him maybe fighting some other Japanese stars. There's other Japanese stars that are champions around his weight class, so maybe we get some of those undefeated fighters of the same nation, because it seems he likes fighting over in like Japan, Tokyo, mainly. So it might be easier logistically to get those matchups, depending on who their promoter. So yeah, have him fight some, you know, big Japanese names on their own turf, and, you know, start gathering more gold. And then you're gonna have, you know, no debate. He is going to be the number one pound for pound guy in all of boxing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even at the age of 31, what he's been able to accomplish: WBC light flyweight, WBO superfly, WBA bantam, WBC bantam, IBF bantam, WBO bantam, ring bantam. I mean, the list just goes on what he's accomplished, and I think he's just going to get better. So the world is his after this fight. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's fighting over there. And hopefully he could come here into the States, and hopefully one day we will be able to see him, because, I mean, he is one of the most exciting boxers we have.
He's got fans here. For sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for sure he does. But let's go to 301 post pay-per-view. It's one of my favorite episodes, always breaking down what we saw. And, you know, a lot of people thought this card was lackluster. You know, they were like, oh, you know, they had to bring back Jose Aldo out of retirement to kind of save the card. But I thought the card was actually really good, you know, coming all the way. The first fight of the night, Alessandro Costa got a performance of the night against Kevin Brojajos, the Peruvian, got the performance of the night. I mean, from start to finish. You even got Mersucio Ruffy knocking out Jamie Malarkey. He got a performance of the night. But let's start with Alexander Pantoja defending his flyweight title against Steve Erceg. Nothing to hold your head about, Steve Erceg. I know he looked defeated. He looked like he said, I blew my chance. For everything, I thought he fought a really close fight. I did think Alexander Pantoja won round 1, 4, and 5. I thought rounds 2 and 3, Steve Erceg won. And those elbows, he cut up Alexander Pantoja, man.
Dude, I'll be honest. Yeah, Steve, you can't take anything away from him. I think he'll be back. He kind of blew it though. I could argue that he didn't. You say he won 4 and 5, Alexander Pantoja. He won 1 for sure. It seems like, as much as he won 5, it was more like Erceg losing 5. And then when you go into, I think the third round is probably the closest one of the 5 between the two, So I think rounds 2 and 4 were actually really Steve Erceg's. He was doing more damage on the feet, but it just seems like he didn't have an answer for the scrambles that Pantoja did. He had all the answers when it got into scramble positions, and he just looked cleaner there. He just looked like the championship merit, the being there a little longer. I mean, what is this dude? 2-3 fights into his UFC career, and he's got a title fight. I think the inexperience reared its ugly head. So it's unfortunate to see, because I think a lot of the fans wanted him to be a champ. I think it's unfortunate, very fickle, but we're like tired of Pantoja. But I think he's great. I always love Pantoja. I've loved him since like 2017, 2018. I just like what he brings to the table. He's one of the few Brazilian champions we have. I think, besides Alex Pereira, it might be the only one, right? So. Yeah, I can't take anything from Steve Erceg. He looked really good, but Pantoja looked to be in control in those grappling positions, and that's the way these fights are scored. It's not just solely about getting punched. It matters about the grappling. And I know we're leaning heavy on damage, but man, if you get put on your back and you can't get up, I mean, that says a lot. Joe Rogan said. If you go into the recess, or, you have a schoolyard fight and they got to pull you off of the kid. I mean, everyone's not going to say like, oh, well, he hit him a couple more times. No, they're going to be like, the dude who was on top won the fight. They had to separate him. So it was a good championship fight. I feel bad for Pantoja that he had to, call the fans to stay and come back in and listen to him. Same thing that happened with Glover Teixeira. But I heard also the infrastructure is kind of rough in terms of how the traffic may be and getting out of the place. So maybe they could do some improvement there. You can't just solely, rely on the fans to not want to get home safely. So, it's no Dana White, no Joe Rogan. I do understand where people are coming from with the event as a whole, but we are coming off of 300. So, I think we got 2 big pay-per-views coming up. 302, 303, it's going to make up for this 301.
Yeah, and I think the month of June, going to Saudi Arabia, one in Newark, you have International Fight Week. You got a lot going on in the month of June. Yeah, from everything that I've read and people who were there in Brazil, they said everyone kind of left after Jose Aldo won, which kind of rubs me the wrong way. I mean, like you said, you're one of 2 champions of Brazil, and he's kind of like begging people to stay, which is not a good look. But yeah, I going back to the inexperience on Steve Erceg, I think that's exactly why he lost his fight. I think he was winning on the feet, he was cutting him up, but why would you jump in and try to shoot an ugly double? That's just stupid. I mean, Pantoja was just reversing. He lives on the ground, bro, and he was winning every battle. And I'm glad effective grappling is getting the deserving notch over damage, because everyone, and I think it's a lot of casuals who say, oh, well, look at his face compared to Steve Erceg. That doesn't matter. You could have a clash of heads and be banged up and be like, oh, well, Steve Erceg knocked him, had drew blood. No, but everything on the ground, he couldn't get up. Pantoja was dominating on the ground, and I think that's ultimately why he won. Nothing to hold his head about. I think he could get back there. He showed a lot of grit, showed a lot of toughness, but ultimately, I think the inexperience, like you mentioned, why do you want to go and grapple and try to take down? And it's not that you went to take down. They were awful shots, Joe. I mean, just shooting from miles away, just nowhere near Pantoja. It was just sloppy. So do you think Ursay could find himself maybe fighting for the title down the road after rattling off 3-4 wins?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, he's got to keep winning. He's going to have to fight back, I think, maybe once or twice. So it's going to, honestly, because he's so young into his UFC career, I think it's going to kind of be a long road back to the title, but he has the talent to do so. Because like I was saying, I think he's going to have to fight back two times, maybe even 3, because he's going to be high right in the rankings. Yeah, and then he's got to fight 2 high level guys. So yeah, I'm thinking honestly like 3 or 4 fights removed from maybe regaining a title shot. And by that time, honestly, anyone can be champion. It could be Pantoja, it could be someone we don't see. It could be my future bet, Mokaev, and I think that's the next fight to make for the flyweight division. I think it is Muhammad Mokaev versus Alexander Pantoja.
Yeah, so he's sitting there at number 6 right now. He went on Twitter, obviously. He's a big Twitter guy, Muhammad Mokaev. He went on Twitter saying, you know what, I'm next. Pantoja came out after the fight and said, you know what, he fought. This is the 2nd or 3rd time this year. He wants to take a break, maybe towards the end of the year, November, December. But I'm hoping he could stay champion for my ticket.
Your ticket, I'm saying, but if we get that, we get that matchup, we're gonna have 2 future tickets riding on it.
One of us is gonna win, kid. So, but yeah, we're definitely doing good there. But shout out Alexander Pantoja, defends his flyweight belt in his home country, first time in 13 years. I thought that was very interesting.
Fantastic.
But the moment of the night, the best moment of the night, only 2 underdogs won, and this is the first one. The King of Rio, he wins unanimous decision, 30 times 27 times 3. He should have got a bonus, in my opinion, but man, coming back and beating a stud like Jonathan Martinez, and he beat him everywhere, kid. What a performance from the King of Rio.
Yeah, mixing it up to the body, to the head, incorporating some throws, takedowns. Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was in his prime again, and Jonathan Martinez, he's no joke,
No.
He's a guy on the rise, and it just showed like Jose Aldo just comes back and just, he's just one of the all-time greats, bro. Like that was fantastic to see.
Mm-hmm.
So and if you didn't know, if a lot of new fans didn't get a chance to see Jose Aldo, I mean, that's a little glimpse of what he was like. And just imagine even more fast and vicious and just everything accumulating. And yeah, man, it's hard to teach a old dog new tricks, but I feel like he's I don't know, man. I really it was like he turned back the clock, bro. It was
It was insane. I mean, the sprawls he was doing, the takedown defenses, he just looked like old vintage Jose Aldo. It was amazing to see. He fought out his contract. They said he walked out with the crown. I thought that was amazing as well. You and I, we're not in the business of retiring fighters. Do you want to see Jose Aldo fight in the UFC again? And do you think he will?
No, I think he's done. Sail off into the sunset. He's in went into the Hall of Fame. I think it was like kind of a perfect homage to him in his career to come back and get a win over this dude. You know what I mean? And like I said prior, Jonathan Martinez wasn't showing him any respect. He came to fight the guy, and Jose Aldo was like, all right. He's like, let me teach you a thing or two. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a case of the student becoming a teacher. Teacher schooled this young kid. So yeah, shout out Jose Aldo. I think I would like him to retire myself, which, like you said, we're not in the business of doing that. But I think, he
has nothing to prove either.
Nothing to prove.
Joe.
He's had his fair share of rewards. Where do you put him in the rankings? You just know that it's one of the all-time greats, and him coming out of retirement to do this was great for the country of Brazil, for his hometown of Rio de Janeiro, and his legacy, I think.
Yeah, and for the UFC, boosting up the card a little bit. I think they needed a little boost after, kind of falling flat with the main event. But and I think he has nothing to prove. What is he going to go win another belt? I mean, yes, he's shown us he could still beat the top guys. He beat the number 12 bantamweight. So who's he going to fight next? Song Yadong. Like, I just don't see it. There's nothing for him to prove. I want him to go make as much money as he can. I want him to go box. He wants to go fight on that Netflix card with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's what he could do.
Yeah, go box. Go make a shit ton of money.
Box and look crisp, and I think that played a factor into it as well.
100%.
Boxing, he was just crisp with his combos.
And I'm glad you brought brought that up because people were coming in here saying, oh, he fought Jeremy Stevens, guys. Relax. He fought a draw. I don't think that's going to translate here into the octagon. Who was the faster striker on Saturday? Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. It was Jose Aldo, was it not?
It seemed he was quicker everywhere.
So I don't know what those guys are saying. Maybe we're just not watching the same thing. But yeah, so happy for Jose Aldo. And as a dog in his home country, so happy. And I agree. My guess, if you were to ask me, I don't think he fights in the UFC anymore. I think he's done. I'm glad if he does go out, I'm so happy he went out in front of family, friends, and his home country. So shout out Jose Aldo. And
he didn't need the performance bonus. I think he was the highest paid athlete on the card.
Oh yeah, he got $1 million to show, 100%. But it's Jose Aldo. I mean, you gotta give him one last bonus. But I think the biggest win of the night, Anthony Smith, shout out you on the flyer. He gives Vitor Petrino his first loss of his career. Standing guillotine. I mean, in the very first round, what was Vitor Petrino doing? I mean,
just a miscalculation, bro. Remember, he's undefeated, but he's young into his career as well.
But
Anthony Smith on paper. Anthony Smith on paper is one of the best. No, he's got a deep resume, bro. He's been there, done that. He's experienced it all across different weight classes. You know what I mean? And that's the last thing you do is like you try to like slam your way out of it. You know, when someone's got it kind of locked in, you got to try to fight. Standing is a little more defensively sound than if you go to the ground because you don't really have anything. It's all working against you there. And like I said, when he slammed him down, that guillotine just got even deeper. And man, Dustin Poirier's wet dream, bro, came to fruition with Anthony Smith, seeing that guillotine get locked in and get the tap, bro. I mean, how many guillotines at 302 are we going to see? Over under 5.
I'll
with
say
takedowns that are coming from Islam.
I'll say under because I love hitting the unders. I mean, but just, great job by Anthony Smith. And I thought we outlined it perfectly last episode. That's where Anthony Smith is going to win. He's smart. He's an analyst. He watches and study fighters. I just thought, like, what an ugly fucking takedown. Again, he literally shot the worst takedown and put himself into the guillotine. Yep. I mean, how dumb can you be, especially against a veteran like Anthony Smith? Like,
yeah, dude, he knew exactly what to do, and his grappling is really good.
Yeah,
he's fought, the top fighters. He's fought the upper echelon of them all, and he's been inconsistent and he's come up short with a lot of stuff. But you go into a fight against Anthony Smith, you're gonna have your hands full. That's just because, like I said, just the experience. Like he's gonna know he may be 2 steps ahead of you, and especially if you're inexperienced as Vitor is. Like his best way to go about it would have been to stay striking with the man, I think. And the fact that he went to initiate the grappling. Anthony was all right. This is my world now. And I didn't expect it to be that early. I thought it would have been like a late tiredness thing. Vitor kind of draining himself, not getting the finish early. And, Anthony Smith maybe put it on him because he's got a tank as well to put it on him late. The volume of strikes late in the fight, or maybe even like, a rear naked choke. But I didn't expect the jump of the guillotine that early.
But how you were so spot on with it. And like we say all the time, Joe, there are levels to this. So Vitor Petrino, you didn't respect Anthony Smith coming out. You called him out, thought this was going to be an easy fight. The odds indicated that you're almost a $6 favorite. I thought so. And Anthony Smith just said, oh, by the way, did you catch Bruce Buffer saying the wrong name? I thought that was great as well.
He did announce Vitor as the winner. Right?
And Vitor was like, hey, I won. It's just a joke. But I thought that was hilarious. But shout out Anthony Smith, the vet. He gets the job done. And, he's here to stay. He's still in that top 10.
At least Bruce Buffer was there.
Yeah, that's fair. Performance of the night. And by the way, the main card was flying along. We got a lot, besides the co-main and main event where it went to all 5 rounds. We were getting a lot of finish.
Kind of like the people's main event in this.
100%. And Michel Pereira gets the performance of the night. First round submission.
How about that backflip into a knee to the face?
Yes. Now, it is very controversial. A lot of people thought it should have been a DQ, but he also got, and they were discussing it, and the way I guess John Anik and Paul Felder were describing it, when he did the backflip on him, yes, his knee caught the face, but he also caught the shoulder as well. It wasn't straight face. So I think that's why they kind of gave him the okay where it wasn't a no contest. So I'm actually okay with the decision. Yes, he clipped him in the head, but he also clipped a lot of his shoulder as well.
Yeah, but just bring back ground strikes, bro. Soccer kicks, knees to the head,
everything.
Just bring him back. 12 to 6 elbows. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a threat, bro, and he's steadily just racking names up, constantly putting a notch in his belt, a feather in his cap. Yeah, Michel Pereira. He's I just want I don't take it away, man. Let him keep doing that. Honestly, the backflips into mount, you know what I mean? They're just wicked. So he's very entertaining, and he's proven it. In every fight he come out, he's just racking up those wins, and he's looking more and more dominant each time too. So 185 is his home.
Oh, it's definitely his home. He looks amazing at 185. Like I said on Friday, I don't know how the man used to make 170. 185 is definitely his weight class. He's a contender here at 185 too. He's going to be ranked tomorrow when the rankings come out. And, a guy who I think he could match up with is a guy who opened the main card, Caio Borralho, sitting at number 14th in the middleweight division. He's probably going to go up another slot or two. Yeah, he beat Paul Craig. He knocked him out in the second round, 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the second round. He gets a performance of the night as well. Do you like that matchup for Michel Pereira and Caio Borralho?
No, I think you keep them separated for a little bit now. I know they're going to want to have a quick turnaround for one of these guys. Both came out clean, Caio Borralho and Michel Pereira, but, Fluffy dropped out. I could see one of them fighting Fluffy now that he doesn't have a matchup. Unless, for the Newark card, if they keep Roman Dolidze on it, if one of them wants to fight Newark, they can fight Roman Dolidze there. But after
do you think he's ready for a top 10 fight in the middleweight division? Either of them, Michel or Caio Borralho.
I'll be honest. Caio's already ranked, and I think for some reason, not losing in like 10 years now, I don't know. There's something to that. Michel Pereira is like a wild card. I think he needs to get a couple more wins before fighting that high. But I think honestly, Caio Borralho, I think he could be ready for a top 10 fight. I like what I've seen from the dude. You say that it's been lackluster with him fighting to decision, but I think that's just getting him more and more experience, more comfortable in the octagon, and be ready for those high-level fighters. So I do like Caio Borralho's spot.
He did call out a very interesting name, which I like, and I see a lot of people on X or Twitter, whatever you call it. He called out Jared Cannonier. I love that fight. I mean, it is a big step up in competition. You are trying to crack the top 5. Jared Cannonier sitting at the 4. Yeah, Caio Borralho called him out. Do you like that?
I mean, that's a big step up, but isn't Jared Cannonier just had a fight announced?
Yeah, but I think it got canceled as well. Everyone's dropping out like flies.
I don't like that per se. I think if you're gonna do that, Kyle, hop on the Newark card, fight Roman Dolidze, and then get Jared Cannonier down the line.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Quick turnaround here. I don't think he really took too much damage in that fight. Quick turnaround. Get into the top 10.
Yeah, one fight Roman Dolidze, get you in the top 10, and then you fight Jared Cannonier, top 5. I think you can get a title shot. Be real with you.
It got Jared Cannonier a title shot against Izzy after winning. So yeah, I agree. I think that's a good call on your part. But yeah, I mentioned you were right too. My girl Karolina Kowalkiewicz, she wound up losing unanimous decision, but she was a tough cookie in there. I'll give her some
tough, bro.
Yeah, she's always been tough.
Always like nonchalant in the cage, like she just does this for her. Like it's her job, bro. She's always been that way. But 38, I don't think there's much left for her.
Yeah.
She had 4 fights in a row, but yeah, she just I think age is catching up to her.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, in that strawweight division, she is sitting at 13. I do think there are some winnable fights for her, like a Michelle Water Gomez or an Angela Hill. I do think there are winnable fights for her, but I do agree. I think she's on her tail end of her career, but she is a legend. I love Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Yeah. But outside of that, man, overall, like I said, there were a lot of buzzkills, but I thought overall the card was entertaining. People thought it was lackluster. Oh, and shout out Mauricio Shogun Rua, introduction into the Hall of Fame.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, June 27th. He's a legend, especially going back to the Pride days. Now, my one critique on the UFC, when they showed them up there and with his family, and he was getting emotional, showing all of his highlights. The next fight was the Ihor Portoyo, and they showed him getting knocked out. I mean, come on, UFC, don't do my man like that. But what was your favorite, going all the way back to the Pride days, what was your most memorable moment for Shogun?
Damn, dude, there's so many, bro. Like stomps, you know what I'm seeing? I'm just seeing like soccer kick after soccer kick in Pride and Shuto and man, yeah, dude, he wearing this damn wrestling shoes as well and still doing it, you know what I mean? Like he was just a savage, bro. Like killer, man. And yeah, he should have been a Hall of Fame a while ago, I feel like. But announcing it on the Rio card made sense on a pay-per-view, you know what I mean? Like reserve it for him there, and like you said, kind of get the crowd to show him the love, give him his flowers that he deserves so well.
Yeah, deservingly so. I'm glad he got into the Hall of Fame. Now, I will say there needs to be a specific MMA or UFC Hall of Fame, which you and I will be on the front for to trying to get to. But I'm happy he got in. Overall, 5-1 on the night for me. I had a really good night. Besides the Anthony Smith fight that you got plus 425. Outside of that, got all my fights correct. How did you do, kid?
I did good betting wise. I went 9-4 on my picks, 2-0 on my leans, and the parlay hit. So overall, what would that be? 11, 13, and 4, right?
Yeah, 11, 13, and 4, kid. Had a boy.
Yeah, 13 and 4.
And you hit a nice plus 425. Whew, up a couple units, kid. And we're on our way to St. Louis, as the legendary Bill Belichick says. Also, want to mention Canelo Alvarez. What a win. Unanimous decision. Gets a very good opponent. A lot of people were thinking like this could be the passing of the torch, but Canelo said not yet, my guy. He dropped Jamie in the 4th round. But going into the 4th round, I actually thought Canelo was down 2 rounds to 1.
Yeah, I think Jaime had him early, he was showing more, volume. He had the power advantage. I think it kind of set in like what I talked about was the Canelo realized, so he's been here before with Bivol. And, if he wants to get that fight back, he's going to have to overcome the size that Jaime had, the advantage he had. So, yeah, I mean, that was just beautiful work. Classic Canelo.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I don't think Canelo has that much time in the sport. He usually only fights twice a year. So who can you see possibly Canelo fighting next? He did get into it after the fight with David Benavidez after. Do you like that going down that road?
I think it's David Benavidez. I don't think he should jump right to Bivol. I think he needs to fight in his weight class maybe one more time. Yeah, I'm thinking that. I'm thinking David Benavidez, kind of be like, because you got another Mexican fighter, kind of be like the last one left, you know what I mean? Last one standing. And then another, kind of like unifying the titles from that point on would grant him a title shot at the next weight class, which we got to see if Bivol would even be there, because maybe it's going to be Beterbiev. And we heard that got pushed back off of June 1st. So I'll be honest with you, even though we like, the Olympic style that Bivol possessed and what he showed against Canelo, Beterbiev 19-0, all 19 wins via knockout, bro. I'd be favoring that dude, the knockout artist, bro, because that's just, you could compete with the who's who and cut the ring as well as anyone. And you're going to have that X factor, that pop that no one else is going to have, that one shot power. So I'll be honest, I'd be favoring Beterbiev in that matchup. And if he beats Bivol, you might be able to see Canelo fight Bivol sooner than later. But then again, if Canelo wants to go up, he's going to have to fight Beterbiev, and I don't like that for him at all.
What's the one fight you want to see Canelo have before he hangs it up? Because I only think he has like 2-3 more years. Like I said, he only fights 2 times a year. Mexican Independence Day and around Cinco de Mayo. So we'll probably fight around September. Who's like the main guy you want to see?
Oscar De La Hoya. Nah, bro. Honestly, I don't really have many ideas in mind because, like I said, I really think that honestly, the David Benavidez fight is something that's been coming a long time. You know what I'm saying? So that's a fight that we could absolutely see.
And it makes the most sense. He was there front row with his family. He was watching it for a reason.
Yeah, it makes sense, dude. I mean, who could? I really see David Benavidez as being like the guy. He had beat Jamel, so maybe his brother Jamal wants who he was originally scheduled to fight. Fight. But yeah, he's right in that sweet spot where it's pretty much David Benavidez, Jamal, Charlo, and whoever wins or loses between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev.
Yeah, can't wait. We got options open for Canelo, but another very impressive performance from the Mexican on Cinco de Mayo. So shout out Canelo.
Yeah, I went
Alvarez.
4-0 on picks and 1-0
Oh, nice.
play. I went perfect.
Oh, perfect. I just went 1-0 on the unanimous decision, minus 110. So shout out Canelo for
I played
that.
it all straight up because I could have seen any of these fighters, which as it turned out, there were some knockouts. You know, Brandon Figueroa, he knocked out his opponent. But there was decisions otherwise than that. Mario Barrios looked good, and Staniones, he looked really good. So
I think it was chalk all weekend. 11-2 on UFC. The only two underdogs was Jose Aldo and Anthony Smith. I don't know about boxing, but like you mentioned,
I'm seeing all chalk in the 4 fights that I did. Chalk one before that. Vito Milnicki, huge favorite. William Skull Cuban. Jesus Ramos, huge favorite. Let's see. David Picasso, huge favorite. Julian Bridges, don't see any odds for him, or Adrian Torres or Lawrence King. But looking based off records, it looks like that could have been the case. It was just chalk weekend.
Just a chalk weekend, and then the chalk weekend finished in the WWE. I mean, I think this was the highlight of my Saturday. I got to give it up to the crowd in Lyon, France. From the first night of the night to the ending of the main event, this crowd did not sit down or become quiet. Anything. They were cheering. They were having chants. It was the loudest I've ever heard a crowd before. The camera was fucking shaking. It was so loud. It was the largest gate in an arena pay-per-view in pay-per-view WWE history. I mean, what scenes in Lyon, France? You had them singing Randy Orton's theme song, and you could tell the Americans don't even do that. Every pay-per-view needs to be in Lyon, France from here on out. And to be honest, they're gearing up for the Summer Olympics over there in France. And I'll say this, Joe, they are the capital of MMA and mixed martial arts and combat sports in general. They are the leaders in Europe right now, better than the UK. You saw what they did in what's his name in the PFL?
Cedric Doumbé.
Look at the crowd that he brings. France crowds is electric. Yeah. I gotta go one day.
Yeah, that would be nice to go see over there and just get the feel, the atmosphere and stuff like that. But like, look at the football crowds, look at the soccer crowds, like, you know, the amazing atmospheres all across them. I think honestly, Manchester pay-per-view 304, they're gonna have to show up. That's for sure. You know, give them a run for their money, because I agree with you. As of now, I think Paris, France as a whole, they're putting in that work. They really are.
And overall, I thought Backlash was amazing. Go 5-0 on the night. The Bloodline, they wind up defeating Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I thought that was a great match to start off the night. Bailey, we know she was going to retain against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Yep. I thought that was an okay match.
Were we right with the pin? Naomi took the fall, right? Pinfall?
Yes, she did. Yep. The world heavyweight Damian Priest, he gets help from Finn Balor and that other guy. I forgot his name. I don't like him.
McDonough?
Yeah, McDonough. There you go. They have this feud because I guess Damian Priest doesn't want help from his boys, Judgment Day. Why is that? Do you know?
Oh, that he's the champ now. I don't know.
World heavyweight, baby.
We saw Rhea Ripley get hurt, go away. She'll have rights to the title shot when she gets back. But just like we're seeing with Damage Control, maybe inklings of these stables breaking down. Mm-hmm. Everyone starts going on their lonesome, and that will allow for some rivalries. Like Finn Balor could even challenge for their world heavyweight. You got to think of that too.
He was even grabbing his face, like, do not, because they wanted to hurt him after the fight. And Damian Priest was like, no, he's done. we don't need to touch him anymore. It was amazing scenes. I'm actually growing on Damian Priest. We got new women's tag team champions. They beat the Kabuki Warriors, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is one of the most athletic women I have ever fucking seen in my life. What she did to pin, I think it was
Kairi Sane?
Yeah, it was the other girl, Kairi Sane.
Not
Yes,
Asuka.
not Asuka. Yeah, it wasn't Asuka. But how she pinned her, didn't left her up. I forgot the finishing move, but the way she did it was fucking fantastic.
I gotta brushed up on her signature and her finisher, but yeah, she's a freak of nature, bro. Like she's like a female Adonis, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a goddess, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I think she's here to stay. I love the new it's the first time tag team champs for Bianca.
Did she like come out Royal Rumble, make your debut, fast track at the tag champs, and bro, like she could honestly go for a title soon. I obviously going to push the champs that are currently there a little more, but she could be fast tracked. I'll be honest with you. She could do anything she wants with this company.
And then the main event, Cody Rhodes defends his WWE championship against AJ Styles. I'll say this, AJ Styles, phenomenal job, man. I'm not a big AJ Styles fan, but he performed. He looks jacked, Joe. Yeah, he's yoked out of his mind.
Yeah, he's hit a new prime, bro. And he's like came out and he said like he's done the ice baths and stuff, and like that's his recovery and his like strength and conditioning are amazing. And you know what a performer he is in the ring. Like he's one of the best technical wrestlers of all time. Back to the TNA days. You name it, bro. In and out of Japan. Yeah, AJ Styles is loved around the world. You can hear the pop that Cody got, but AJ even got from that crowd.
Yeah, AJ got a huge pop. They were even chanting his theme song. I was like,
singing
wow.
Other songs. It was
It was scenes in Lyon, France. And I don't think AJ Styles' stock goes down after losing here. But yeah, Cody Rhodes, they weren't going to take the belt off of him. And they did announce WrestleMania 41 going to Allegiant Stadium next year, April 19th, and 420, baby. We got to go.
What does that tell you, though, bro? If they're doing WrestleMania at Allegiant, they're probably going to have a stadium event coming up soon for the UFC. Yeah, bro.
Yes, it's in full effect, kid. It's in full effect. But yeah, overall 5-0 in the UFC, 5-1 on the UFC. So overall 11-1. I mean, if you're not making money with that, what are you doing, kid?
How'd you do? Let's say overall, I went undefeated in WWE, undefeated in boxing. So that's
9.
That's 10.
10.
And then 13-4 in
23-4.
Yeah.
Holy shit. 23-4, kid. What a fucking weekend.
In betting wise.
Yes, great weekend betting wise. We made you guys some money, and hey, we're on to St. Louis. Before we get into some news, quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry watching UFC St. Louis. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at Axe Cake Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid. Some news before we get up out of here. We got a main event for UFC Abu Dhabi a year from today, where they tried to schedule it. They're going to run it back. Corey Sandhagen will take on Umar Nurmagomedov August 3rd in Abu Dhabi, 5 rounds, main event. Are you glad they stuck with this for the main event?
Yeah, I think both fighters need it, to be honest. We haven't seen Corey in quite a while, and he's got enough balls to be willing to fight Umar. And, though I think I gotta lean with Umar. I hate to say it. I gotta say, Corey's gonna be live, bro. We talked about the level of competition you're stepping up into, and we saw what happened with who was it, Bekzat, the Kazakhstanian dude. Umar, he got hit a bunch of times. So if he can hit you, I'm pretty sure Corey Sandhagen with his skill set could hit you. So as much as I said I'm going to lean Umar, Corey's live, and we know he's going to be a dog, and that's why I mean he's going to be a live dog in that spot. So Umar is going to come out like a $3 favorite, and I think that's not necessarily wrong, but it's not right, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up for future odds. Nothing as
yet.
of
Just
yet.
got it instant confirmed.
Yeah,
And I'm going to come out and say it. I think
yeah.
you're going to see Corey as like a plus 180, maybe even a $2 dog, and you're going to see Umar as like a $3 favorite. That's what I'm
Does
thinking.
it worry you because he is coming off that about a year layoff now, coming off that injury? I worry about Corey Sandhagen. This is a very, very tough fight. This is the boogeyman that no one wants to fight in this division. I respect Corey for taking the fight, yes, but I wouldn't take it as my first fight coming back off of a surgery.
It's that kind of scary fight for Corey, but it's a huge step up in competition for Umar. So I think, that's why I'm saying that he's going to be live, because I think it's fair. I think, we haven't seen him. It's a tough fight to come back on, but maybe there is no ring rust in his eyes, maybe try to rebirth a little bantamweight Dom Cruz, you know what I mean? So we'll see, but I'm going to stick with my guns with what we're getting on the odds.
Now, when the odds do come out, we'll definitely take a look at him, see if there's any value getting it early. Now, my question for you is, we all know, I don't know if it's the Sphere. They're trying to work on it between Sugar Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili. Does the winner of this get the winner of that?
Ooh, I think so. Yeah.
I agree.
I think honestly, I think you can catapult Umar after beating Corey.
And Corey's sitting there at number 2.
Yeah, and Corey would deserve a title shot. And I think both are tough matchups for whoever's going to be champion at the time. Another one who's live, Merab's going to be live with his cardio, his ability to take down. Sean's improved so much. So, Sean's defending his throne. So bantamweight is fun right now, man. It really is. So let's see what unfolds, because
I'm very interested.
You said that you didn't know if it was a Sphere. I think I saw them say 304, but then I was like 304. That's Manchester. Why would they do that? Yeah. But then I saw like it's trying to be for the Sphere, and that would be 306 in September. So UFC Noche. So I think that makes more sense. And it gives, the amount of time.
Merab went on I think he was on an interview. He broke some news. I love how Merab just doesn't understand, or doesn't know that he's breaking news. He was like, after UFC India, and everyone's like, wait, we're going to India. And then he goes, we're probably going to fight at the Sphere at 306. Then Sugar Sean came out on Instagram and said, that's what we're working to, but nothing, pen didn't hit paper yet. We're still working on it, but that we are working towards the Sphere. I think that's the fight to make. Hot take, Joe. My prediction: Merab wins, and Merab winds up fighting Umar.
Wow!
Clash of styles, baby. Yep.
Dana's
not gonna like it, but I'm gonna fucking love it.
Where's the damage there, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And then last thing, unfortunately, but such a Matt Brown thing. He announces his retirement on Instagram after 43 professional fights. I mean, thank you for the wars. Good luck in all your future endeavors. We were blessed enough to see his last fight in Charlotte, Joe. But I guess what was your thoughts on the Immortal hanging him up, and I guess just the way he did it, just the pure Matt Brown way.
Yeah, unadulterated Matt Brown, man. He's just a savage, bro. And I have a lot of memories with Matt Brown, not even going back to what we saw in person. I'm glad we got to see him. But it was time. He didn't have to take any undue punishment, and we see him now coaching his Ohio guys. Yeah. And he's probably falling in love with that, you know what I mean? So kudos to him for knowing to step away, and he's opening up the next chapter of his life. So shout out Matt Brown. I'll be honest, we don't want to be stingy with the Hall of Famer, but to me, he's a Hall of Famer just due to the savagery of the finishes he's had, and just what he's been a name in that, in the ranks, just that you don't want to fight, bro. You never wanted to see your name get pulled out of a hat. And you're like, oh yeah, your opponent is Matt the Immortal Brown. So,
good luck.
Yeah, good luck, bro. So
I want to read what he said because it's every time I read it, it's hilarious. Not doing it again. I'm out. That's the announcement. My life will now be dedicated, like you said, to serving others, growing others in mixed martial arts, and building businesses that can help the community around the world. Like you said, I've only seen 3 fights in his career because I came into the sport late, but every time he always brought it, he always delivered, and he always kept it real. I'm reading like comments. People said their highlight was the win against Eric Silva. Do you remember that?
oh my God, yeah, dude. Eric Silva was a guy on the rise, and man, he put the rest of all that heart.
I fucking love Matt Brown, bro.
The elbow to Diego Sanchez, and we saw it with Court McGee, him getting that overhand.
Yeah.
Just he did have power, bro, in his feet, his elbows, his knees, freaking headbutts, bro. He was just savage, bro. I freaking love that guy.
Yeah, so glad we got to see his last fight. We didn't know it at the time, but yeah, what he's doing is a greater cause for him. He's gonna help the guys coming up. And, that's some people's purpose in life. And I couldn't be happier for him. So good luck on everything. Matt, the Immortal Brown, wanted to give him his flowers on the way out. But, Joe, we're on the way to UFC St. Louis, headlined by Derek Lewis and Raggio Namasito?
Rodrigo Nascimento.
Nascimento. Yeah. Thank you. A heavyweight bout. Minus 162 right now for Derek Lewis, plus 136 for Nascimento. Joaquin Buckley, he got his wish. He is on the card, but the co-main event. Carlos Ulberg, hide your ladies. Fellas, hide your ladies. Carlos Ulberg's fighting Alonzo Menfield. He's over $2 favorite. We got Alex Caceres fighting Sean Woodson. That's a banger. Elvis's cousin's on it. Waldo Cortez. He's fighting Robelis de Spain. What a fight that is. Robelis is a minus 166 favorite. He opens the main card. Low key, I love this card, kid.
Yeah, that's an exciting card, bro. All around from top to bottom. I'll be honest. I think they're going to turn up the volume a little bit in the coming months. And I don't know, man. I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. So I'm really expecting, like, as we get towards the end of the year, there may be an argument for what's going to be card of the year, fight of the year. I think that's always still yet to come.
Yeah, 100%. But Joe, thank you so much. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Yeah, no 10 seconds left because it already happened with in a way. So we'll have something on Friday for you. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your week.
Let's fucking go. That's going to do it for this Monday edition of Axe Kick Picks. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Joey, I'm D-Rock. Make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at Axe Kick Picks. And on Instagram, I think it's Axe Kick Picks Live. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, give us a review, comment below who you're pound for pound. I'm interested to see what everyone says because, like I said, I put Inoue at number 1 after today. But, yeah, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Good luck this week on all your wagers. Be safe, be well. And we'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.